so planet Earth. So it's estimated to be 4.5 billion years old. And how did scientists figure this out? Well, scientists used two primary methods to date the age of something. So number one, relative dating, and number two, radiometric dating. So what's relative dating? It's the process of determining which rock or geologic event formed first without knowing their exact ages. It's pretty much about analyzing the structures. So here's this example. So by analyzing the structure, we can tell which layer formed first, which layer is younger, which layer is older. So there's one major problem. Actually doesn't tell us when these layers formed or how long they lasted. And radiometric dating solves this problem. It tells you the absolute age of something, its actual age, in other words. So how does it work? So it's using the amount of radioactive elements present in a fossil or rock to measure the age of something. So let's establish something. So everything is made of atoms, and rocks are made of atoms. They're no exception. Some atoms are unstable, and unstable means they'll eventually transform into another element. Some rocks and organisms contain some amount of stable atoms, also known as radioactive elements. So take carbon-14, for example, has a half-life of 5,370 years, 6 protons, 8 neutrons, and then will eventually transform into nitrogen-14. So let's take this very professional animation, for example. So there's a fossil, it's going to contain some carbon. So at the start, it's going to have 100% carbon-14, and after a certain amount of time, it's going to decay and transform into nitrogen-14, so around half of it, and another 5,370 years, it's going to decay again and transform into nitrogen-14, and so on and so forth. And so the time it takes for half of it to decay is called its half-life, and carbon-14 has a half-life of 5,370 years. So this is how scientists and paleontologists measure the age of something. So figure out the number of half-lives that something's had from its isotopic ratio. You can see it there. And then we calculate its age. But there's one major problem. It has a relatively fast decay rate. So after things are only 70,000 years old. So for things older than that, we won't have enough carbon to measure its age. So what's used for older stuff? Well, scientists use uranium-238. So what's this, you might ask? It has a much longer half-life of 4.5 billion years. Perfect for really old stuff as old as the Earth, and will eventually transform into lead 206 since it's unstable. So you can see there. So if you think about it, Earth is pretty much a big rock. So to measure its age, we take out the oldest rocks found on Earth, and that's how we measure its age. So where are these rocks, you might ask? Well, they're found in this area called the Jack Hills, just around the northern part of Western Australia. See there, it's what the area looks like. So what's so special about these rocks? Well, these rocks contain zircon crystals, and these zircon crystals contain the unstable uranium element we were just talking about. And to measure its age, scientists use radiometric dating, exact principle that we just talked about, and they're around to be 4.5 billion years old. And that's pretty much how scientists knew the age of the Earth, but we just don't stop there. So scientists also use not just Earth rocks, they also use moon rocks and space rocks. So what's the reasoning behind this? Well, same age as the Earth, since they form the same, since the moon formed the same as the Earth, and for space rocks, they're same age as the solar system that the planet Earth formed in. So using these rock samples, they measure their ages, and it's around that, 4.53, 4.58, so on and so forth. And using these numbers, scientists have come to the conclusion that Earth must be around 4.5 billion years old by then. Thanks for watching.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.